Unmasking the Covered Me podcast. UTCM was birthed from me realizing that there is a greater me on the inside of me. The phrase, there's a greater you on the inside of you, means being above normal, understanding your worth, and being confident in knowing who you are. But the first person who has to realize that there's a greater you on the inside of you is you. In life, we all go through stages of the good, the bad, and the ugly, which leads us to our purpose and promise. UTCM is a platform where you get to share your story and your truth of unmasking moments that allows you to embrace all stages in your life. UTCM looks forward to many people being able to unmask, uncover, and unveil themselves on the podcast. Thank you for watching and joining us.
Hey, we live.
I love it. Hey, we are live.
Yes, we are live. We are live. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody whoever is not on, who's coming on. I'm just very excited. I am very excited. This is officially season 2, episode 1. Yes. And I have none other than Miss Lunic, Addison-Boyd. I am just so grateful and thankful for you, just your willingness to be able to go on. I know you have an extremely busy schedule. And I thank you for, thinking of me and saying, you know what? This sounds like something good. I'm gonna go on. Let me try this out.
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna move my camera so I can get into this. Okay?
Yes, get comfortable, Luna. Get comfortable.
I'm here for it.
Yes. There's not enough words to really, describe or express. I'm just full of emotions. I feel actually the same way that I felt last year when I started it in January. And I'm like, wow, who would have thought that I would have those same emotions and those same feelings? But I'm just happy. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to keep pushing. I'm happy to keep going. And I'm just thankful, that I have support behind me.
That's a good thing that you still feel the same way, because it's like it's fresh, it's new. That means you love it.
Yeah.
And it loves you back.
Yes. I'm learning, Lunic, to be comfortable in being uncomfortable. Because it's by far it's definitely not easy. This journey has this unmasking the covered me has definitely been a journey, and it still is a journey and a process. Yeah. So I'm just learning to embrace it, though.
Nice.
I'm learning to embrace it.
Very nice.
So enough about me.
Let's go.
Yeah, so if nobody knows, I'm gonna allow you to brag about yourself, right? But I'm just thankful to be able to, get to know you. Also be able to see your transformation, your growth, your maturity. It just has been nothing but amazing to me. I love watching your videos. You're very inspirational. Just a go-getter, someone that just pushes people to be their best selves. So, if you don't know, you're going to know tonight. This is God is Great. She is the CEO, the founder, my girl, Lunic. So I'm going to let Lunic introduce herself and brag about herself a little bit, right? Wow. So you guys can get to know her.
Thank you. Hey, congratulations on your second season, first and foremost. Kudos to you. Before I even go into anything else, to God be all the glory. And I just thank you for seeing it not robbery to choose me, to be a guest on your show. Something that God has given you, and I applaud you for walking in your purpose, for walking in your destiny, for not being afraid, to be uncomfortable, because a lot of times God calls us to great things, and he calls us to do, things that other people are fearful of. And sometimes it's not always easy, but you took on the call and you answered it, because that just means that you're open and you're ready and willing to what God has for you, because eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, nor has it entered into the hearts of man the plans that he has for you, for me, and for everybody else who dare to test him. you know, so congratulations on your second season. And it's just so crazy because I don't even know how to really brag on myself. You know, all I know is that I am Lunic, you know, the messenger, and I am woman, hear me roar.
Yeah.
You know, I stand on that. I believe in that. I just believe that it's important for me to stand in all that God has called me to be, even when I'm fearful, even when I don't understand, even when it doesn't make sense, even when I feel inadequate, even when I feel like I'm not enough to step into the calling, if you will, because there's many callings on our lives. It's not just one thing, you know. So here I am, you know, founder, CEO of God is Great Apparel. It is a chic spiritual brand. We are 5 years young. I'm actually sitting in my first headquarters in Livingston Mall in Livingston, New Jersey. And I'm also the founder of A Day at a Time, a nonprofit organization who believes that everyone deserves a second chance at life, no matter what that looks like. And we have a plethora of things that we do for the community. And I'm just a servant first and foremost. I'm a woman of God. I am a wife, and I'm a friend. That's who I am.
Yes, I love it. I love it all. I love it all. I love it all. And because you know, and my thing is, you know, because I just met you. My husband introduced me to you a couple of years ago when you actually just had like you were set up outside of Old Navy in Livingston Mall right before you actually got your headquarters. And I met you for the first time, and I immediately felt the good vibes. I immediately felt the love. I immediately felt like, you know, like I want to see you win. You didn't even know me, you know, and it was just like the small conversation that we had. And then I've been following you ever since then. And I've just, like I said, I've just seen nothing but growth, you know, and I get some of my motivation, you know, from you. I think about like, wow, if she could do it, then that means I can do it.
That's it.
Right.
That's it right there. That's it.
Right. Right.
That's
Yeah.
right
So,
there.
you know, and you said something to me yesterday when we were talking, right? Because I always do my little debriefing right before the podcast. And you know, you said to me, you know, keep going. Don't stop. You know, even when you are scared, even when you didn't do it right, it's okay. Keep going. Right. You know, and that's my thing. I'm like, oh, I'm a little afraid. Like, okay, am I supposed to? Do I not? Like, real, like just not for certain. But I understand now that it's okay. It's okay to be, you know, to be uncertain. It's okay.
Absolutely.
It's okay. So I want to say good evening to everybody who is on again. Thank you so much for coming on. I think I see my mother. Yes, my mother is on here. I think this is her first time being on my live.
Hey, mommy.
Hey, mom. Hey, Shay. Hey, I love everybody. Thank y'all so much for supporting me and everything. Thank you so much, so much, so much. So, right, I always ask this question. This is my inaugural question, I feel like. And I know at first you asked me, you're like, Nyesha, like, okay, you emailed me back, like, I thought we were kind of just going to have a conversation. You want me to answer questions?
I mean, I do get that sometimes, and sometimes I just say no. I just want to freestyle.
Right.
Always just ask me anything. I'm not doing that.
Right. I got you. But I do want to ask you, right? Because I asked everybody this question. I asked all my guests this question. You know, how did you feel about answering the questionnaire that I sent to you?
You know, most questions are often loaded. You know, and I think a lot of times, you know, when you're in your element and you are being just who you are, and someone stops to ask you a question, like a question, let's say, for example, are you happy? And you're like, that's a loaded question. How much time you got?
Right.
You know, because sometimes it's so easy for us to go to the answers that seem politically correct, you know, but when someone asks me questions, I have to stop and honestly think about it, because when you're just so used to being who you are and you're just used to doing, you don't necessarily think about like, who am I, or what does this feel like, or where am I in this transition, or how did you, because you're just doing what you naturally know how to do. So at first, actually, the questions weren't that hard. You know, so I had my assistant, she asked me the questions, and I was just like, you know, I just we just had a conversation, and whatever she wrote, I don't even know, but I didn't even look back at it. But I know she CC'd me in the email. I just answered the questions honestly, you know. So that's how I felt. I was like, oh, I can answer that. And some questions I'm like, you know, so you asked me to be as transparent as possible. So I gave you what I could without giving you a whole paragraph.
Yeah. And you did exactly what you're supposed to do. And as all my guests do. And I love it. I love the transparency. I love you being open, being honest. You know, because for so many years, you know, I've always, you know, it was hard for me to be honest, to, you know, being completely transparent, you know, and 100%. It was hard for me to be honest with people, right? Because my thing is, I always wanted to make sure that everything was right. I didn't want any, you know, confrontation or, you know, so my thing is, instead of dealing with it, I'm just going, you know, be quiet and not say nothing, you know, and just
I'm gonna give y'all the politically correct answer, or what I think y'all want to hear.
Exactly. And that's no way of living at all, you know. And I learned that finally, you know, late last year, like, to just, Nyesha, just be honest, because at the end of the day, you're only hurting yourself when you're dishonest.
Right.
So I do want you, because you did mention too as well that you talked about your nonprofit organization, right? And you guys are doing a number of things. So I kind of wanted you to just speak a little bit about that. Like, what are the services that you guys provide? Like, what actually is it?
So A Day at a Time NJ is a nonprofit organization that was established and I created with some really close friends of mine who are really passionate about giving back to the community. And we were just trying to figure out a need. And it really started from a passion of giving back to women and men who were coming out of rehabilitation centers like Narcotics Anonymous or AA programs, because a lot of times when people come out of these programs, they really don't know what to do, especially after years of destruction, after years of using and abusing drugs. You know, it's kind of like you're starting life all over again, you know. So the program is really modeled after Everyone Deserves a Second Chance. And what happened was I wasn't able to plug into some of those other organizations at the time when I first started the program. And when I was transparent and sharing my story on various platforms, I had a lot of mothers reach out to me about their daughters, you know, and, oh, you know, can you mentor my daughter? Or, oh, my daughter wants to ask you some questions. And they would bring their daughters to my seminars or my events. And then I was like, you know what, maybe I need to focus more on young girls, because, you know, sometimes God will reveal some things to you, because you can start something one way and God will show you and redirect you in the path in which he would like you to go. So I embraced it. I didn't run from it. So I was like, you know what, as a young girl, what is it that I felt like that I lacked, you know, that I needed? And I was like, you know what, I needed structure. I needed someone to inspire me and to motivate me, to be transparent and honest, and to just kind of teach me and guide me in the right direction. Because you can have a mother and father at home, an auntie, whatever, but sometimes you don't necessarily want to hear it from them. You want to hear another young woman or someone who's been through some things who will listen to you. And that's how one of our amazing programs, the Wonder Years, was birthed. And it's one of our most amazing programs under the umbrella of A Day at a Time. It's called the Wonder Years, Young Entrepreneurs Achieving Real Success. So what we do in the summer, we have this 4-week program that we make completely free for teenage girls at Rutgers University. We teach them content creating. We teach them the power of confidence. We teach them the power of entrepreneurship. We bring in people from various walks of life that can teach them, you know, different things. They can ask whatever they want to ask. And my background is in news and television. So we take them to radio stations and TV stations like BLS or Hot 97, in various locations where they can shadow the reporters and the journalists for a day. Channel 7, like wherever, because I have these relationships that I built, you know, throughout my journey in journalism. And it's an awesome program. It's free. The young ladies are 13 to 17, and the program is 5 years. Well, this year is 6 years young. And it's one of the most amazing services that we provide that I'm absolutely proud of. And it's grown tremendously. I've watched these young girls like go on to do so many amazing, powerful things, graduate college, go on to do, you know, work in television, work in various industries. And like, God just continues to blow my mind, you know. And as we're developing coming out of COVID, I'm hoping to revisit some of the programs that we had developed, in the past. We feed the homeless. We also have a program called Angels Are Real, which is the homeless thing, where we do a lot of workshops. We do a lot of stuff in correction facilities and jails and prisons and youth houses. It's just a plethora of things that we do. So if you guys don't know, you can go to adayatatimej.org and you can see some of the programs that we do.
Oh man, that is everything under that website that you just Okay, perfect. Okay, yeah. So I'll make sure that I put it in the comment section too. I'll post it on my page. So if anybody is watching and they're interested, and they want to get more information about it, definitely. It sounds like it's all amazing stuff.
It's really a powerful program. It's a powerful
it sounds like it.
And a portion of the proceeds from God is Great benefits A Day at a Time, and that's how we keep the program going. Whether we're funded or not. Sometimes we're funded, sometimes we're not, but we like to just take a portion of the proceeds and we just do what we need to do.
Nice. That's dope. That's dope, Lunic. Man, that's dope. Oh, so I have one of God is Great.
You came to the store without
I did. You see
collection.
Yes, God is Great. Y'all gotta go see her. Go see her.
That's our new Made with Love collection. It actually drops tonight. It's not even on the website. I think it drops tonight on the website. It's available in the store, a few of them, not a couple pieces.
Right.
This weekend, because that's our Valentine's Day piece.
Nice.
Oh, you got a head start. Okay.
I did, Lunic. I did. Yes, I did. Yes. I said, no, I gotta rock. God is Great.
Nice. And it feels good too, right?
It definitely does. Nice. Yeah. I'll do my little TikTok later too.
Okay, so God be the glory. Nice.
All right, so we're gonna keep diving right on in, right? So I want to kind of talk about, right, because you mentioned the second chance, right, and having second chances and different things like that, right? So one of the questions that I did ask you was, what was your process, right, in uncovering, right, the hidden you? Like, what did that look like, right? And your statement was it was a very ugly process. It was ugly. It wasn't pretty at all, right? So I kind of wanted you to kind of just talk a little bit about, your process and what that looked like for you, and how you
let's go.
How you kept going, like how you kept going, right? So talk about that ugly process, right? Because it may help somebody, right?
So I'm gonna say this. The reason I agreed to do this podcast for real, was because it was called Unmasking the Uncovered Me.
Yeah.
I thought that was really powerful in the sense where we wear a lot of hats, but we also wear a lot of masks.
Yeah.
And I think it's necessary sometimes because we're growing, we're processing, we're trying to learn, we want to get it right. But at the end of the day, I think it's so important. And it's not a perfect math or a science. We all have to go through our process. If you got to fake it till you make it, if that's your thing, then go for it. But as long as you keep moving in a direction of trying to get it to a point where you understand it and you feel good about yourself. Because at the end of the day, you got to take the mask off. You have to face life. You got to deal with reality. And it doesn't matter what people are saying. It doesn't matter what they're thinking about you. It don't matter what they have to say. Their opinion of you is not going to pay the bills. It's not going to heal you. It's not going to get you to where God wants you to be. It's not going to make you a better you. You unmasking, you shedding and peeling back the onions and really going deep. And that's what I had to do, man. And it wasn't a pretty process. Like, I'm pretty, right?
Right. Yes, you are.
But we could say that on the outside. But if you're not pretty and you don't feel good about yourself on the inside, it's not going to exude on the outside, because people will have a pretty face, but then they'll open their mouths and something like it's just not pleasant. You'd be like, ew, that's ugly. And all of a sudden you'll have a different outlook. So I say that the process was ugly because I had to let go of the facade. I had to let go of what you thought of me. And I had to accept that I wasn't living right, that I wasn't being the best version of myself, that I was stunting and fronting for you and you and you when all of that didn't matter anyway. Like, I was doing a lot of stuff to keep up with the Joneses, if you will. And a lot of things that I did it because I was in survival mode. You know, we're often distracted by people, especially now. I'm so glad that I did the work before social media became powerful.
Yeah.
You know, because there's a lot of people that's caught up, you know, in fronting and stunting for the gram and social media. And like, if you would just do the work and really be who you are, you could get to where you're supposed to get a lot faster and more transparent. And it'll be the best version of you, where you don't have to like fix it later and be like, because it's like telling a lie, Nyesha.
Yeah.
You got to keep up with the lie. And eventually the truth and the real you is going to show up. And then what?
Right.
So the unmasking for me and being transparent was ugly, because I was in denial about being a drug addict. I was in denial about being addicted to drugs. I thought that as long as I was a functioning addict, nobody's gonna know. You know, as long as I got my hair done, my nails done, I had a vehicle to drive. And a lot of people don't know I was living out the car, you know, and it just wasn't pretty. And at the end of the road, I was 90 pounds wet, thinking nobody knew. You know, my mother was angry. She cried. She was hurt. There was just so many people that I hurt. But at the end of the road, I knew that I hurt myself. And I had to get me together in order for me to stop hurting me. And then in turn, stop hurting other people and just try to figure it out. You know, and in the figuring out process, it just wasn't pretty. It just hurt a lot, because it's like, who am I?
Yeah.
Who am I?
Yeah. Yeah. And people don't like to, and I'm gonna speak from a perspective of myself, right? I know for me, I have never dealt with, you know, having an addiction to drugs, but I have history of having, you know, parents, right? So I'm a child of, you know, parents who have been addicted to drugs. And it's, you know, that itself is not a good feeling, right? But being uncomfortable and really being honest with yourself and acknowledging, right, that I'm not good. I'm not all right, right?
I'm
It's
not
key.
all right.
I'm not
I
all
might
right.
be good today, but tomorrow I may not be all right.
Yeah.
And it's okay to say I'm not okay. Instead of putting and fronting for you. People be like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, this is my truth. Like, today I'm not good.
Yep. And being okay with being honest with that. Like, today is not a good day. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It's okay to not be okay.
And the truth is, we all have a form of addiction. It just manifests itself in different areas. Some people shop. Some
that's true.
A lot of alcohol. Some people may eat. Some people may work out a little bit too much than they need to. Some people lie.
Yeah.
You know, like for no reason. Some people just do. Everybody has something. Because sometimes when you deal with one addiction, you substitute one for another.
So true.
Sometimes we don't recognize it.
So true. Yeah. And you know, and that's funny, because in 2017, I was like really in like a deep, dark place. Like, I was in like in a deep depression, right? Like, it was so deep, like I really just didn't want to really live anymore, right? But a part of my addiction was me just kind of like just watching all social media and watching everybody else and really not really caring who I was. And just like, that was just my, like, that's what I did. As soon as I woke up, that was the first thing that I did. Jumped on social media. Like, what was going on, right?
Other people.
And that was my addiction, right? And I didn't realize that until I had to like really acknowledge it. Like, Nyesha, you were addicted to something. You was addicted to social media, and you was addicted to the facade that you thought that everybody was happy, right? Because I wasn't happy. So I thought that I would be able to get happiness from by looking at other people, which it didn't work. It didn't work at all. Right. So so, and I'm happy that you spoke about that, because that's a good segue, right? To talk about, you know, your addiction, right? So I want you to kind of describe a day, right, that you wanted to throw in the towel, but what were some of the tools that you use, you know what I'm saying, to bring yourself back?
You talking about after I got clean?
So during the process,
Well, I had threw in the towel completely. You know, I think I got to a point where I used drugs and then drugs used me. You know, drugs use me because once you're addicted to something, it kind of takes over, and that you're willing to do no matter what you have to do in order to get it. That's how bad it got. I had a $1,500 a day habit. You know, that's why I tell people I don't look like what I've been through. Thank God. You know, there are some people who use just like I did, a little bit less or a little bit more, who didn't make it out. You know, and I'm grateful for the whole thing. But at the end of the day, I was one of those addicts, you know, that by any means necessary, I was going to get high today. You know, whether I was going to take it from you, I was going to take it from you, I was going to get it from you, I was going to get what I needed to get in order to feel some type of whatever it was that I was chasing. Because what you're doing as an addict is chasing that first feeling. You're chasing that first time. Yeah. You know, and you never really get that first time again. You might get close to it, but you never get it again because your chase, it's like a chase. You know, it's like making your first, I don't know, $100,000, if you will. And once you get that feeling and you like that feeling, you want it over and over and over again. It's like falling in love. You know, that first 6 months when you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
And it's you and your representative, and y'all right. You in love, y'all doing it. You know, boo, we on the phone all night, we fall asleep. You know.
That is funny. Yes.
You want that old thing back.
Yes, that's the realness.
You
though.
move on to the relationship and y'all start doing it, and then all of a sudden the real you show up, and you're like, well, what happened? You used to take 2 showers a day. What happened? We used to like go out to eat. We used to, you know, and then what happens is you just become who you think that person wants you to be. You know, or who you actually would like to be, but you don't want to do that work. And then once you bag the person, you feel like, I don't need to do all this no more. I already got them. Or they already got me. I'm not going to keep looking cute and keep, you know, making sure I got a nice shaved bald head, or make sure my underarm pits is good, and make sure I'm good in all areas. I feel like that's a facade. Yeah. And if that's not the real you, then you shouldn't really be presenting that in the beginning, or you should just kind of say that. But that's hard. It's not always a perfect science, but I was one of those addicts that did whatever I needed to do to get one more and to do what I needed to do. And I'm just glad that I had the aha moment, the wake up call, the light bulb, if you will, whatever came on. I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just like what I feel like that with anything, right? Like even when you're in a relationship, whether man or woman, right? When you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, like, because everybody could tell you till you blue in the face, like, girl, you deserve better. Like, no, you deserve better. Like, no.
Yeah.
But until you believe it.
Until you believe it.
And it's
really like it's like a switch. Yeah. It's like a light bulb that has to come on, and then you got to not only believe it, but you got to embrace it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you got to grab it, hold on to it, and run with it.
Yeah.
And then just be like, no matter what. It's like when I'm on a treadmill in the morning, like I'd be like, it's me versus me. You got this, Lunic. It's inside of you. Come on, girl, push. And you laser focus and you shut everything out. And now there'll always be that little voice that's going to tell you, like, quit now, girl. Take a break. Like, I just can't go no more. Yes, you can.
You can.
Yes, you can. And sometimes I got to box through it. I got to fight through it. I got to talk myself. I got to be like, Lunic, you got this. You are built for this. It's inside of you. Come on, girl. Like, I have to do that because, you know, that scared little girl and that voice, that negative voice will creep up inside of you and tell you that you can and that you're not enough. And just stop. You could try. Sometimes we'll be like, oh, I'll start over tomorrow. Yeah, but when you in it and you in beast mode and you go for it, it's such a gratifying feeling because when you do it, you're like, I knew I could do it.
Yeah.
Like, how powerful is that to believe in myself that much that I could grab it, hold on to it, and run with it, and just don't worry about nothing else that's going around me. Stop comparing myself and just be me with me. With me. That's it.
Yeah. And that's powerful. That's so powerful right there. And it's crazy because, I was kind of debating. I'm like, am I going to share? I don't know if I want to share. Right. But I'm being led to share.
You have to, man. You can't.
Yeah.
Much is given, much is required.
Yes. Listen. He has brought me a long way, from being this person who has no confidence, no confidence in herself, always self-sabotaging, the sabotaging thinking, right, and just not having a low self-esteem, and people would never really know, right, because I always wore a mask. And
Nyesha, let me before you even go further, I just want you to know, thank you for sharing, and baby girl, you are not alone. Everybody feels how you feel.
You're right.
Everybody. And they may not feel like that every day, but trust and believe they feel that way. And the only way you're going to get through the other side is to be transparent about it, accept it, embrace it, grab it, believe it, lock it, and move.
You're right. You're so right. You're so right. And, and that's why I'm here today, right? Like I push past, the fear and it, and the uncertainty with doing this podcast. But a lot of people don't know the reason why I really started this podcast last year was to hold myself accountable to finish my book, right? And I can say today that my book is, it's in the works now. It's finished. I am ready to do pre-orders. So I will make sure that I post the link tonight. So get your pre-orders, order the book.
That's right.
And I'm
by people supporting you and pre-ordering you, that helps you. Yeah. Like, so when a person everybody that's watching right now, I don't know how many people's watching or whatever, lock in, pre-order her book. Because when you sow a seed into somebody's dream and their belief and the things that they want to do, God is going to open a door for something that you've been dreaming of. Don't look at it like, I'm supporting her dream and I've supported her. Lock in, support her, pre-order her book. It don't matter if it don't come out for 2 years. Right. When you sow a seed into somebody else's dream, God will bless you and open a door for you for something that you've been dreaming of. So don't stop holding on to things because you think you blessing somebody else and they doing it before you. So I'm a pre-order. I don't even know what the book is about, but I got to sow a seed and lock in because that's how we grow. That's what this is about.
Yeah.
Because we'll pre-order somebody's stuff that we know nothing about. In a minute, put our money in listen.
Yeah. Yes. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the love. And it's me unmasking the cover me. That's the name. That's the name of my book. Right. And I'm just telling my story. I'm speaking my truth. Right. My story is my story. No one, and I understand that now, no one can take that from me. Yeah. Right. Because my story is my story. Right. And then also me understanding that there's truly a greater me on the inside of me. Like really understanding it and understanding that some days, like you said, is not always going to be good. It's not going to always be roses and butterflies and sunflowers.
And unicorns. No, it's not.
I'm telling you, I'm having some dark moments and it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. So yes, I wanted to share that. The Holy Spirit was just leading me to share it. So I'm like, all right, go ahead, Nyesha. Go ahead and share it. So Lunic, I want you to, because you did mention, I want to kind of just go right. I want to go back, right? Because you talked about like, your addiction and everything. So I want you, because you never know, somebody could be watching that could be, an addict, right? That is dealing with the same thing that you dealt with and not knowing which way to go, right? Yeah. So if there was something that you can, a word or some encouraging words that you can give to that addict, what would it be right now in this moment?
You are enough. Mm-hmm. You are enough. You are enough. You are enough. You are enough. No matter what it looks like, no matter how dark, even if you're in the grips right now, even if you're in the valley of the beast, because that's what I call it, even when you're in that, and it may not even be drug addiction, but addicted to a man, addicted to a relationship, somebody who's beating on you, somebody who verbally abuses you, somebody who doesn't know how to treat you, or maybe the self-loathing or whatever it is, you are enough and that you deserve more, and you have to find the courage, the strength to believe enough in yourself to go get the help that you need, because you deserve healing. Healing doesn't come the way you think it's going to come. It may not come in the form of an apology from the person that hurt you, raped you, beat you, dragged you, scandaled your name, gave you the first free one, whatever that is. You are enough and you deserve to heal. You deserve to become the best version of yourself, and start where you are with what you have. If it's picking up the phone and going to an NA meeting, if it's picking up the phone and going to an AA meeting, if it's calling an 800 domestic violence, whatever it is, start the process of healing and stop blaming yourself. You know, it's not an easy process, but baby, you are enough and you deserve healing, and you deserve true healing, and it is yours to get if you're open and willing to receive it.
Yes, amen. I received that. So I want everybody to just type in the chat, #you are enough. Because you are. Yeah. You're enough.
You're more than enough.
You're more than enough.
You know, and you won't know how much enough you are until you just begin to take those little steps. And it's not about taking a leap, and it doesn't matter how long it takes you, and it doesn't matter, like, God knows I did not see this for myself. Yeah. I knew that I deserved more. I knew that God had something greater for me. But my God, I was so knee deep in darkness, and so knee deep in self-loathing, and so knee deep in insecurity, and so knee deep in because if you want more, you run away from more, because you know that there's work that is required, and there's things that you need to do in order to get to where you're supposed to be. And a lot of us don't want to give up certain things because it requires work. Yeah. It requires work. It requires you to go to those places that you're fearful of going to, but you got this and you can do it. And every little step of success or accomplishment, applaud and celebrate yourself, man. Yeah. Celebrate. Waking up every morning, celebrate that. Brushing your teeth, putting your clothes on by yourself, celebrate that. Taking a leap of faith, celebrate that. Like every little one, because nobody's going to celebrate you. Learn to celebrate you. And when you celebrate you, the rest of the world ain't got no choice but to celebrate you.
I'm telling you, man, Lunic, you're amazing. You're an amazing woman of God. You're an amazing servant. I just thank God for the divine connection. I really Amen. Do. I really, really do. Amen. Man, this is woo. This is nothing but a blessing. It really is. Like, it's nothing but a blessing. And I thank everybody, for that's on and that's watching. I'm just speechless right now. I'm trying to hold myself together. I'm trying to
There's some powerful people on this line that's watching. So if you guys are watching, just know, like, just being able to have and be in this conversation is a powerful thing, because I believe that nothing is a mistake, that you're supposed to be here. And there's something for each and every one of you that are here tonight. Listen, whether you know me or not, whether you know Nyesha or not, I believe everything is designed. Everything that God is, everything is orchestrated. It's just a powerful thing. You guys are going to remember that you are part of this conversation, because where God said it in the beginning, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, nor has it entered into the hearts of man. Because you guys are going to one day say, oh my God, I remember seeing Lunic on this podcast. I remember when Nyesha did her second season, and her first episode. Like, you're going to have these conversations, because one thing I know for sure, Nyesha, is people will talk about who you used to be. And they will be so inclined to tell people how you messed up and who you did. But you know what I love the most? You cannot and you will not end that conversation without telling them where I am today.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
They say, run, tell that.
Run, tell that.
And make sure you be like, oh, for real, that's what, oh, okay. Because, you know, sometimes they don't got a whole lot to say at the end of the set. You be like, oh, you had a whole lot to, but yeah, run, tell that. End the story. Please end the story that way. Don't forget, don't leave that part out. Let them know she got 5,000 square feet in Livingston Mall. Let them know that she just started her second season, episode 1, with Lunic, the owner of God is Great Apparel. Let them know how fearful and how afraid you was and how she used to smoke drugs. And let them know. Whatever y'all going through right now, they got to end that story with where you are right now. Where you are right now is better than where you used to be. I tell you that much.
Wow. That's good right there. That is good right there.
That's
Woo!
it.
That is so good. So, I want to ask you a question too, right?
Yes.
Like I just love this whole platform is amazing. Right. So right now, what would you say that you're most grateful for right now?
Every single time that I'm able to take a breath, I'm grateful for a lot of things. Like, the list is long, but I'm grateful that, like, I'm not digging out the bottom of my purse looking for change to pay my bills anymore. I'm grateful that crumbs are not I dig at the bottom of my purse, of course, because we messy. You know, we don't got it all together. I don't care how much money you got, how together you are, how many bags and what you carry, whatever. We all digging at the bottom of our purse at one time or another for something. But I mean, to make ends meet, you know, I'm grateful that I'm not out here trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. I'm grateful that I'm alive. Like, I'm grateful that I'm not hooked up to a bunch of machines and the machines is doing it for me. I was in a really bad accident in 2020. Was it 2020? 2020. Wow. It's about to be 2 years. That's how great God is.
Wow.
Like, I got hit by 4 cars on the highway. Like, the last pickup truck almost took my life, like 70 miles an hour. Bam, pinned me and my husband in, broke my arm in 4 places. I got pipes right here in this arm, and nobody would ever know that. So, like, I'm grateful, like, that I have purpose on my life. Like, I'm grateful that he saw fit to save me a wrench. Woo! Like,
yeah.
You know, so every day that you wake up with gratitude, because it's another opportunity for you to be great, for you to do the things that you've always wanted to do. God is letting you know, like, hey, here's another chance, you know. And I just want to share this really quick.
Yeah.
There's a video that I watched of Denzel Washington, and I don't know if anybody has ever seen this, but I thought it was so powerful. And he talked about every night before he goes to bed, he puts his bed slippers so far up under the bed. And he said he's done this for decades. He puts his bed slippers so far up underneath the bed that every morning when he wakes up, he has no choice but to get on his knees and be in prayer posture first. So before he takes the slippers, he's in posture, because what happens is a lot of times we're distracted, we're on our phones, we're answering emails, we're on social media, we jump up and go to the bathroom, we kiss the boo, we have morning sex, bad breath and all, we're making the boo breakfast, we're running, we're getting the kids ready for school. And then we do these half-ass prayers in the shower or in the car. And it's like, how can you forget to give praise, glory, and honor to the gift giver?
Yeah.
The one that woke you up this morning. How do you put him second, third, fourth, or last? Why is he the last on the list? He should be the first on the list. And I thought that was so powerful. So I try my best I don't put the flip-flops underneath the bed, but I know for a fact that I'm not leaving the house, even on days that it's a half-assed prayer.
Yeah.
I'm in the shower like, God, thank you for waking me up this morning in my right mind. I give you all the honor, all the glory, and the praise. Like, I pray that you go with me as I go on my daily journey. Cover me from bumper to bumper, from the highways and the byways. Like, I'm in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't take it lightly. Because
Right.
just like, June 25th, 2020, I almost ain't make it out. And I never want to not make it out without giving him glory and honor first.
Right. Because he deserves it. He deserves it.
Right.
All of it. All of it. All of it. So I know you got a couple of other projects going on too. I said, man, my girl Lunic is out here, okay? Is no, what's that saying? There's no like grass under your feet or something like that. It's an old saying. I can't think of it right now, but I mean, you have so much going on right now. So you also mentioned that you have a 90-day devotional that you're working on.
I am. It was kind of top secret, but we could talk about it. I'm not going to give y'all details.
Right. No.
Yeah, because I believe, in creating habits, and I believe in creating routines, and I believe in strategizing. And in that, I believe not just a devotional with blank pages with a scripture, but kind of like, because they say anything you do for 21 days, becomes a habit. That is not true. I've done that. But I believe when you repeat it over it, if you repeat 21 days or 30 days 3 times, I believe that it becomes part of your schedule, part of your routine. And that way you can begin to write it down. I think devotionals are very important because it's like I said, me versus me. It's me and God. And when you build a relationship with God, it's sort of like when you know better, you got to do better.
Yeah, that's good.
And I believe sometimes we get away from that because life does get busy. And I'm not here to tell you that I've got it all together and there's this perfect science and every morning and every night. But what I do is I start the day with God and I end the day with God.
That's good.
Even if it's just in my pillow, God, thank you. I do my best to journal every night. I started that back up again. It's a powerful thing, not to only be like, check off this things to do list, but include the self-care.
Yeah.
Include, doing something nice for somebody else. Yeah. That kind of devotional. What are you devoted to? So it's a work in progress, and we're also working on a couple of other things. So
I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see it. So my cousin actually she just posted it. So she doesn't let grass grow under her feet, not staying in one place too long.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate you, cousin. Thank you so much because I couldn't think of it. I'm like,
you got your back. You got your back.
Grass on the feet.
I mean, somebody's paying attention.
That's right. So, and of course, your hashtag. You remember what your hashtag was?
God is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fine. Listen, that's my hashtag.
I love it. So, I'm definitely gonna I'm gonna steal that one a little bit too. When I'm posting my stuff.
God is great. Like he's
one. He's indescribable. I mean,
yeah.
I'm telling you, he really is. So, Lunic, I just want to thank you again, for your willingness, for your openness, for your transparency, for your realness, for your dopeness. I really appreciate you, coming on. It's been nothing but a great time with you. And you don't know, but I was kind of like doing my homework and I'm like, wait a minute, Lunic had her own TV show. She had her own like my girl was out here doing her thing before this was a thing.
Before this was a thing. Yeah.
Before this was a thing. So you like an OG, right? So I appreciate you. But so I found
people like to call me a rookie because I started new projects, but I'm really a veteran because Nyesha, I honestly believe that everything that we've done in our past and everything that we're currently kind of doing is literally preparing us for the next level. So you said it, there's no, you're trying to figure stuff out. There's no final destination. It's the journey. You know, so live and bask in every moment, the good and the bad, even the ones that don't feel good. Sometimes even when it don't feel good, sit in it for a minute and say, what's that? You know, what am I supposed to be learning? Because we call it mistakes, but they're lessons. And there's so many blessings if we could just stop and really be like, let me assess it. So yeah, before podcast became a thing, I always called myself a visionary. Because I'm the first chick, brand inside of a mall. Like, who does that?
Dope.
Who does that?
Yes, everything attached to her wins. So because I'm attached to you, I win. Because y'all attached to me, we all win.
That's it. Take notes. It's like, yo, if somebody dropping gems and jewels, it don't matter who is coming from, the garbage man, the pot. Take notes and run with it. Do something with it. Don't just look at it, hate, keep scrolling and not take information, man. Take that free game.
Yes, for real. You talking true. You talking true. So I found the little video, right?
Okay.
On YouTube, and I just want to share it, right? Because I want people to. So yeah, Lunic didn't know that I was doing this, y'all. She didn't know this is. So we really unmasking. Okay. No, so I wanted to share it with everybody, right? Because it actually made me cry. It made me tear up a little bit because I wasn't having such a good day. I think like Tuesday or either Wednesday. It was a tough day for me. Right. So and I was sitting there preparing myself.
Every night I put my hat on.
It's okay. I was just sitting there and I'm like, all right, you know what? I just need something encouraging, right? So I'm like, all right, let me just prepare for the podcast. And I came across this video. So I want to share it with everybody because it helped me, right? And I want y'all to see Lunic when she in it, right? When she in it, what she doing, right? Okay, so here we go. I'm about to play it for y'all.
Oh, shoot. You can go on your phone right now and learn how to make your business work. The problem is you're lazy. Sometimes when you want something to happen in your life, you gotta put blinders on. You gotta look at that thing and you gotta be able to see all the way next year. Every single person in this room was strategically made, designed with an idea, a vision, a dream. God gave you something that He did not give to me. He gave you something that I don't have. Use the gifts that God has given you and stop playing with your life. He's given you something. We all secretly know what that thing is. It's not even what we're doing right now. It's not even, it might have something to do with it, but if you just dig a little bit deeper, if you just pray a little harder, if you just ask a little bit longer. I always tell people, pray and ask God to put that person in your life that's going to help you do the things that you want to do. And I promise you, people will go listen. Because you got to be on board with the right people. God will place the right people in your life, and He will take away some people in your life as well. Do you guys know that I go out into the community and actually touch and feel the vibration of the people? I say, God, I have a nonprofit. I take care of the community. I have a team media care. And I'm doing this all out of my pocket. I'm selling t-shirts. God is great and I am living proof. That's my story. I said, God, I need somebody to write this grant to help me do your work. You asked me to do this. I didn't come up with this. I didn't want to do this. I didn't. Because I looked at it like it was too much of a task. I looked at it like, oh God, this stuff is so hard. Because you know how we have an idea, but we don't execute on it because we look at it like, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
Overall,
yeah. So that was that helped me through. That helped me through actually to not want to throw in the towel. Because I promise you to be completely transparent. I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, I think I'm done. I don't think I want to go on. And when you say that God will give it to you right on time, He did, because that video did it. That video pushed me. It pushed me to do tonight. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you. I want to thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. I really, really do.
Then
I,
I had hair back then.
yes, you did. You did. You had hair. You did. You did. So I hope it, I
You know,
hope it really blessed.
when I reflect back on that, yeah, not, can you hear me?
You breaking up a little
Did
bit,
we
Lunic.
freeze?
You freezing a little
Oh,
bit.
okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you? Oh, okay. No, I was sharing that video was so long ago. There was so much turmoil during that time about that event, but I still pushed through no matter what. And the fact that you played it, and I ran into someone who actually was part of that event that was responsible for this evening, just a few minutes ago. And sometimes, like you said, you don't know why you're going through what you're going through. And I'm not going to keep you, but I just want you to know, and I shared this earlier, everything that you've done prior to will make sense later into the moments of the dark times and when you were feeling less than, or when you feel like you can't go on. Sometimes I too, and I want people to know this, trust and believe, no matter how much success that I have, no matter how much money I have, no matter how many accolades and la la la, there are still times where I feel inadequate. There are still times where I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. But what I do know is the work that I've done speaks for itself. And I need to stop comparing and judging myself, because people have been asking me to mentor, to teach, and da, da, da. So I finally came to a place where I'm like, you know what? I got the receipts. I have the proof. I have the know-how, and I have the blueprint to be able to teach other people how to do what I've done. And it doesn't mean the exact same thing, no matter what business it is. Get ready for the e-course. Get ready to pay for it, because it costs me. Even if I charge $500 for the course, don't feel like it's too much. It took me over 20 years to go through what I went through. And if you feel like it's too much, then it ain't for you, and you ain't about that life. You don't want this. So if I charge $20, $30, get out of here. You're not going to get your money's worth. You're not going to get anything from it. Because I could throw some out there that's fluff, but I'm going to give you the business. And you take that mantle and you pick it up and you run with it. And you do your part. And you show up as the best version of yourself. And I promise you, if it's a business, whatever you want, I'm going to lay the foundation. I'm going to give it to you straight, no chaser. Take it and run with it, and know that your money is guaranteed. Your success is guaranteed, because nobody gave me nothing. I did all of this from scratch. To God be all the glory for everything that I have. And to God be the glory. And I thank my husband for being my backbone, because no matter what you're doing in life, you need somebody else to help you.
Yeah.
Stop trying to do everything by yourself. You are not every woman. Yeah. You're every woman in the sense where, yes, we're all like, we're struggling through the same thing, but everybody needs a team. Everybody needs help at a certain point. When you get to a certain level of success, you need people, and I just want to share, like, don't be afraid. Like, it's going to be some hard times. You're going to feel like you want to throw in a towel sometimes. But a lot of times it's because you're so busy comparing yourself to somebody else, because you think you're supposed to have what they have. But their process is not your process. What God has for you, he has for you. What he has for me, he has for me. What he has for you, he don't have for me. Stop comparing your day one to my 10 years. You could never. And if I gave you my shoes, you'd give them back. And I'm sure if you gave me your shoes, I'd be like, baby girl, I don't want that.
Yeah.
We all have different levels to our process. And God will never give you more than you can handle. But best believe, even when you can't see him, especially when you can't see him, he's carrying you. That's why you can't see him.
That's good. That's good. Woo! Well, our time is up. But it was nothing but amazing. And I knew that it was going to be amazing today. I just knew it. I knew it was. So I thank you again, Lunic. I really do. I thank you for your time, and just your willingness again. Like, I just can't thank you enough for you to even just say, you know what, I do want to see what that's about, and taking the chance, right? Because you don't really know me. We come, we cross paths, but you don't know me, and for you to be willing to come on to my podcast, it means a lot. It definitely.
What I do want to say is, Nyesha, keep on going no matter what it looks like. Don't compare yourself to other people. Learn as much as you can. Teach yourself and stay off the gram scrolling 2-3 hours a day. Give yourself time to plan, to strategize. Go, if you somebody who's doing a podcast that you admire, reach out to them and, hey, have your questions and things already. Don't say, hey, let me pick your brain, because I hate that. Don't. You can't pick my brain. It costs too much.
Right. It costs too much. I like that. It
costs too much time and money. It's like, sometimes, like they say, people without degrees that are successful still pay the cost. They pay the tuition for that. There was something that they paid and sacrificed to get to where they are, So, whatever that journey and whatever that process is for you, just take it and learn from it. Just don't be like, oh, I got another podcast, let me find somebody to interview. Figure out how you can innovate yourself. Figure out how you can build a team. Figure out how you can market it better, strategize it. Because I want to go back to doing TV and stuff, but I don't know anything about podcasting. Until God says that's what I'm doing, then I'm going to just keep doing this, and I'm going to work on what he gave me and just be the best version and do it to the best of my ability. But don't throw in the towel, especially if you're passionate about it and you're good at it. Why?
Right. Yeah,
it's not going to come easy. And stop trying to take the easy road, and stop thinking it's supposed to happen so fast. Bask in the moment. Like, who would have thought that you and I, not saying whatever, but who would have thought that we would be here and I would be like making time? Like, I don't do this. It's very rare. I've granted a couple podcasts, and I will be granting more, because I do know that to whom much is given, much is required. And I do need to share this. But, just keep on going, man. When you're on, let people know, let your friends know, like, yo, I'm coming on. Share it, tag it, repost it for me. Can you share my podcast? Find your niche, find your community, find your tribe, and let them rock with you. And those that don't rock with you, they're going to fall by the wayside anyway. And God going to bring the strangers, and they're going to lift you up. They're going to hold you, and you're going to stand on their shoulders, and they're just going to rock with you. Because believe it or not, it's going to be strangers that's going to rock with you. And then the same people that you thought was supposed to be helping you along the way, sometimes they could only take you but so far. So don't take it personal. But once that train start moving, they all going to be all like getting their tickets, all aboard.
He's speaking truth.
That's all I got to say.
Speaking truth. Well, I thank you again, Lunic. I know you probably got some other stuff that you got to do now. I'm quite sure of it. You at the store now. So y'all don't forget to go check her out. She's in Livingston Mall. Get your new merch, made with love. Come on. Let's support everybody. Again, I thank you so much again, for coming on and doing this podcast with me. So I appreciate you. And everybody have a good night. Continue to be safe. Enjoy your weekend. And we out.
Yes. Bye, guys.
Bye.